Hiya, another parents guidance video just to help you a little bit with dough disco and how you can do that at home as well. We will have some dough disco Zooms, possibly some YouTube ones that you can just stick on and leave them to it if I can make some of them, but you don't need me for it. Once you get your head around it, you can just do it yourselves in your own time and make up your own ones as well. So dough disco, you need some dough. I did send out a dough recipe, which is the one I use for the dough we use at school. I make a new batch every week, but that's more for hygiene reasons rather than it not lasting. It'll probably last a lot longer, and obviously if it's just you and your family touching your dough at home, you don't have to worry so much about the hygiene reasons. Make your own, or plates you can buy is absolutely fine as well. I use the same recipe every single week, and every single week it's different, so I don't know what I do wrong or do right. This one isn't a very good batch. When I'm talking about a good batch, you don't want it to be too crumbly, you know, when you're trying to mould it and it just falls apart. Sometimes it needs a little bit of warming up as well. If it's been sat in the pot, just warm it up a little bit before we get going with the disco. On the recipe, it says vegetable oil. I found that baby oil instead is actually much nicer. If you are finding it a little bit dry or crumbly, try adding some oil in even after you've made it. If a few days later it's getting a bit dry and crumbly, just add in some oil or water, but baby oil works really well. So for a dough disco, you don't need a massive amount of dough. It's literally just a handful. So what I've got here is probably a little bit small for my hand, but for a child's hand, it's literally a handful of dough. And the theory behind doing dough disco is developing those fine motor muscles. So for flippy flappers, we're thinking about the big muscles. Dough disco is all about developing these muscles, the dexterity a child needs to be able to write, but not only write, everything, do their own laces, do up buttons, do up their own zip, all those little tricky jobs that we want them to be able to get better at. Developing these muscles, that's what dough disco is all about, getting our fingers strong. And the children know that as well. I tell them dough disco is all about getting our fingers strong, ready for writing, but not just writing, all the things that we need our hands for. So much like Flippy Flapper, we find a song, we stick it on loud. Children always love loud music, don't they? So anything goes, whatever songs you like listening to. Again, I can send out a playlist if you like. I do have a Spotify playlist specifically for dough disco, so if I can find a way to easily share that. But find your own. You'll know other songs that I won't have thought of. So do let me know if you find a good dough disco song. Let me know. I'm getting bored of mine. So I have sent in your packs, I haven't got one to hand, but in your packs, I don't think, no, in your packs I have given you a sheet with all the dough disco moves on. They are specific moves that the children have learnt that are just really good for manipulating the dough and building those muscles, but anything goes. If you make up your own, that's brilliant. So we've got the things such as the sausage, rolling your hands like that to make a sausage shape. Once you've made a sausage shape, you can pinch your dough. My dough is awful. Can you see how it's crumbling when I'm moulding it? That's not what we want, really. Not a good batch. You can pinch your dough, that's using these muscles here, making a ball. And what we're encouraging the children to do is use their hands, not a surface, because what they like to do when they first start is put it on a table and do that. That's what they'll automatically do because they find it tricky. But we want them to be able to do it with just their hands, obviously, because that's the muscles we're working on. I think the easiest way to explain it will be to watch one. So I have got one timetable for Monday morning, doing one on Zoom together. We'll see how that works. I know that the sound might not be ideal and there might be a little bit of delay or whatever, but we'll give it a go. So if you can join us on Monday morning, you'll just need a little handful of dough. You join in as well, little brothers and sisters, older brothers and sisters, anyone can join in. I mean, the more engaging you can make it for your child, the more they're going to want to do it. So if you can join in too, that would be amazing. So we'll have a Zoom live dough disco on Monday morning, but that basically is the theory behind it, why we're doing it, and they do love it. The other thing I'll say as well is our fingers have names. In your pack as well, there is a picture that explains our fingers' names, and it's all about differentiating between the different fingers and being able to just get one finger to stand up, which is very, very tricky when you're only little, you'll notice. Ruby Ring's the favourite. She can't stand up on her own without Baby Small jumping in. So it's all those things, just getting these fingers really strong for everything they'll need to be doing in the future. So I hope that clears Dough Disco up a little bit. Again, much like Flippy Flappers, just have a go, whack on some music and just get moving those fingers in your dough. Okay, I'll see you all soon.